Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To my respected lecturer, Miss Siti Sarah binti Roslan. My name is Adam Lukman bin Ashbakri, and so for today I'm going to talk about my topic, which is grades and accurate representation of learning. And I'm going to persuade to the students whether the grading system is suitable to be used to evaluate one's learning. Nowadays, we frequently hear the notion that the grading system is related to the learning process. Some students ask if the grade is the best way to assess a person's learning. Will they fail in life if they obtain a bad grade? And what if grades merely reflect a person's memorizing ability? Grades, on the other hand, have previously been used to evaluate and offer feedback on students' work. Teachers can use this strategy to let students know how they are doing in class and where they need extra help to achieve it. Actually, because a grade represents an appraisal of student work, we may conclude that it is an accurate depiction of learning. It is because it may assess pupils' work, effort, comprehension, skill, growth, and examination performance. For instructors, grades are systems that allow them to determine which knowledge concept or skill students have effectively grasped and which one they have not. This will also provide the learner with information to help them become more conscious of where they need to focus their learning efforts. So, fundamentally, grades are symbol of accomplishment among students and may be used to judge their abilities in class. Not only that, but the grade was correct since it evaluated the students' recollection of what they had learned. We all know that not everyone has an excellent memory for memorizing the topic for the examination, which can cause the student to suffer from mental stress. So, this is a proper technique to assess a person's learning by assess their memory level during the examination. Now, we move to the next part. We already discussed about the reason grade representing of learning. However, actually, grades also have some impact on the student's learning, which is it makes the student motivated to study hard. We all know that people think that getting high grade is a good student, while getting low grades is a bad student. This kind of perspective will make the student feel the pressure and it turns out become their motivation to study more and more. The efforts made indirectly will develop focus in them and will further make them aware of the importance of learning. This is when the process of learning begins, which it can cause the student to strive for excellent result. Aside from that, grade inspires student development mentally and advancement in learning, enabling them to be more dedicated and more confident in their studies. When students understand the significance of grades, they will understand why grades are used to assess a person's learning. This is due to the fact that grades are assessments that will separate our level from others. The better our learning level grade, the more options we have to continue our studying at a higher level. This is where we can see that the learning is related to the student's grade. Additionally, grades aid in the evaluation of student achievement. We know that grades are one of the most objective way of evaluation, and if a student does poorly on an exam or test, the instructor will assist the student, particularly in the weak areas, until they comprehend. We can observe that the teacher may judge the quality of their pupils learning indirectly through their test scores. Although there is a great impact on students, however, there are also the advantages of grades to the students' learning, which is provide information and feedback that the student can use for self-evaluation and growth. When the exam result were announced, the teacher will be able to identify their students' weakness and able to improve them to be better before. Student itself able to know what they don't understand and where they can improve it. This will be a big responsibility for teachers to help improve student learning. Furthermore, utilizing grade can be indicate how well a student meets a prioritized requirement in a grade level or course. We are all aware that in order to continue studying at a higher level or pursue a particular path of interest, certain prerequisites and credentials must be met. As a result, this issue is important in a person's education, since the degree of education or determination of learning will define where our trip takes us. Students might make plans to attain their objective. This is highly useful for students, especially when deciding whether or not to continue their education at a higher level. For the conclusion, as you can see, the grading system is critical in representing learning for all students and is regarded as one of the most accurate ways to quantify it. There is evidence that the grade is an appropriate technique of evaluation someone's learning, since we cannot measure the pupil's knowledge of learning without a grade. The outcome is visible through examination, which allow teachers to assess student performance and assist them in enhancing their learning. Consider how we would grade pupils intellectually if there were no grading system. All students may join any higher education schools regardless of how hard they work in their studies. As a result, we can see how the grading system is vital in evaluating one's learning. To summarize, every student has the right to study or not, but what distinguishes them is the outcome. So that's all from me. Thank you.